I want to take a few minutes and help you understand the best way, the most effective way to go out and talk about our memberships and services so that you can more easily go out and enroll new memberships. Now, you've already been through a lot of training on what is covered by the family legal plan, what is covered by our LegalShield plan. You've heard about our supplements, our small business plans, but I want to help you put all of that together and really understand, what do I do? What materials do I use? How do I approach somebody when it's coming to talk about the membership? Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the family legal plan. And Melissa Peters in her video did a great job helping you understand the 3 levels of coverage: the basic, the preferred, and the premium. Now, most of the time when you're talking about the legal plan, most of your prospects are going to end right in that middle category. They're going to end up in that preferred level. That's that $37.95 legal plan. That's the coverage that covers the entire family and really has the best value for most prospects when they're looking at our family legal plan. So the way I would think about and the way I would present the 3 different levels of coverage is, if I had the opportunity to sit with somebody and do a 15-minute presentation, an in-person presentation, maybe at a Panera Bread or a Starbucks or their home or their office, I'd make sure I had the right tools. And so the first thing I do is I make sure I was printing the PDF that you see the link right below this video, the PDF that's available in LS Engage and your Prospect app on the 3 family legal plans. And I would sit down with them and I would present the middle column, the preferred legal plan, and show them all the benefits that that preferred plan covers. And then I would just help them understand that there are some areas under the basic plan that are not covered. And then there's some additional features under the premium plan that they can also take advantage of. And then help them understand which one makes more sense to you. Do you think you fit best with the basic plan, the preferred plan, or the premium plan? And either decision that they make, whether they decide on the basic plan or premium or preferred, just go with that membership. You want to make sure that you're enrolling the customer in the membership that they feel most comfortable with, because at the end of the day, it's not just about enrolling a membership, it's also about keeping a membership. So if I had the opportunity to do a full presentation with a prospect, I would sit down with that PDF and I would walk them through that preferred plan, as I call it the hero plan. It's the main plan. It's the plan that we talk about the most. I'd present that plan and then show them the differences that are in the basic and the premium. And then let the customer, let the prospect make the decision on what plan is best for them. Now, if I'm talking about the business opportunity, if I'm talking to them about the full presentation, and you'll see on our presentation deck for the full opportunity, we only focus on one plan in the business opportunity, because it may be overwhelming for a prospect to talk about all 3 plans while you're also talking to them about the company, the services, the opportunity. So in that situation, I present the preferred plan, and that's exactly what you're going to find in our opportunity deck that's also linked right here below the video. In that particular presentation, we focus on the preferred plan, but then you as the associate know that we also have a basic and premium option. So as you're having the conversation with your prospect, if you think that the other plans might be a good fit for them because of different benefits that are offered in the premium plan, for example. So for example, if they talk about a trust, you know you can go to the premium plan and give them that option as well. But you'll notice that our compensation plan in the business opportunity overview is focused on that middle plan, that preferred plan. So if in doubt, present the preferred plan, because that's where most of our customers end up anyway. That's the one that makes the most sense to most of the people that we present our membership to. But you as an associate should be well educated in the basic plan and the premium plan, because you will also have opportunities where those make sense for your customers as well. LegalShield, it's important that you understand the difference in individual coverage and family plan coverage. And really the plan is exactly the same with LegalShield. So as long as you understand that the family plan is $34.95 and does cover the member, spouse, and all their dependents, where the individual plan only covers that individual, then it's just a matter of knowing, does this person have dependents? Are they married? Because then the family plan makes sense. If they're not married, no dependents, then the individual plan makes sense. So knowing which family plan or individual plan to enroll them on in LegalShield is really all you need to know about LegalShield when it comes to understanding which plan that would be best for them to enroll. So we have 3 different choices on the legal plan: basic, preferred, and premium. with different price points, but also different features. Focus on that preferred in the middle. We have two choices with LegalShield, individual or family, and it's really easy to decide which of those two options are best for your prospect. Understand also, we have lots of tools to share these memberships. So you can share the tools that are in your prospect app. You can share a short 3-minute video on our memberships, or you can also go and share the video that Melissa Peters has done that fully covers all 3 legal plan for the family or covers the legal and ID Shield. So you can share those out. And by the way, those videos are also great learning tools for you to go back to over and over and over to see how Melissa is presenting the information so you know how to better do a membership presentation yourself. Also, we have great tools in PDFs that you can share out. You can text the PDF to someone if you're doing a long distance presentation. Of course, you can print the PDFs and take them on a presentation. We also have flip books that you can order through our associate store with Staples. And we even have big placemat brochures that you can use for sit-down presentations if you're doing a luncheon or some kind of presentation where you want everyone to have the information in front of you. So we have lots of different tools that you can use to share the legal plan, ID Shield, small business plans, and also our supplements. You'll see the links below to all of our different plan choices. And I highly recommend that you review the links, you print all the materials, and you review those memberships so you fully understand what's covered. Now let me give you just a few tips on enrolling members. Number one, how do you get an appointment? It's very simple. I call it the 3-step approach. There's something I want to show you. It's only going to take about 15 minutes, and you may or may not be interested. Now, why do those 3 simple steps work? Well, first of all, they were taught to me years ago, over 29 years ago. I learned those simple steps, which has helped lead me to personally marketing over 9,000 memberships because they're simple and easy for everyone to understand. First of all, why show? Because it's something I need to show you. I can't just tell you about LegalShield, ID Shield, small business plans. You need to get in front of the prospect and actually show them the material. It's always going to be more effective to be in front of your prospect and show them the membership. Number 2, 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes? 15 minutes is not a long time. People can commit to 15 minutes. And 15 minutes is really all you need if you're sitting down with someone to do an effective job sharing them the services that we provide. And why you may or may not be interested. Because frankly, they may or may not be interested, and that's okay. It's not your job to figure out who is interested. What your job is to find out if someone's willing to take a look so you can share with them the information and then let them make a decision for themselves. And so when you say you may or may not be interested, it just takes the pressure off of somebody. If you say to somebody, oh, you would definitely be interested in what I'm going to show you, there's a lot of pressure on them that they know that you expect them to sign up. So if someone says, well, I may not be interested, you can say, well, like I said, you may or may not be interested. I just want to show you what I'm doing and how our services can help you. And by the way, even if you're not interested, you may know other people that you could refer me to, and if you understand how our services work, you could be a great referral source for me. Fair enough? So show, 15 minutes, you may or may not be interested. Now, how do you show the services? Well, the easiest way is always going to be in person. When you're sitting down with someone, you have 100% of their attention, and it's always going to be the most effective way to share our services, to sit down with someone, tell them some stories about how you've used the membership or how you've heard other people have used the membership, ask some questions, and that's going to be the most effective way for you to share the services provided through LegalShield, ID Shield, or our small business plans. If you can't meet with somebody, maybe it's just not possible for you to meet in person because it's long distance, or you just can't connect your schedules, then you can share out a video on Prospect. The Prospect tool, your app, allows you to share out a full video that Melissa Peters does the entire presentation for you, or it allows you to share out a little sizzle video, 3-minute video. You can then invite them to a Zoom presentation where they can see someone else do the full presentation on the legal and ID Shield plans. So we have lots of tools that you can use to take the pressure off of you, especially when you're first learning the business, to go out and share the information. Finally, make sure you're using your support team. You know, so many times when you first get started, you're at your lowest level of knowledge and you're at your highest level of excitement, which can also cause a little bit of anxiety. Like, you want to go out and you want to share the membership, but you're still trying to figure out exactly how. And the best way for you to learn how to do a presentation is to watch someone else with experience do the presentation. So allow your upline support team to help you. Allow them to come in and do the first few presentations for you so you can, number one, learn and see exactly how they're doing the presentation. So you're learning, but also you're probably enrolling some new members and you're also getting paid while you learn. So someone else with more experience is helping you do the first presentations. You're getting paid, you're getting promoted, and you're seeing firsthand how to ask the right questions, what questions you might get asked, how to answer those questions, and that's going to help you become more effective in enrolling your very first memberships. Also understand that you are going to get questions. And questions, or some people call them objections sometimes, they're not anything to be fearful of, because if someone's asking questions or even giving an objection, it means they're engaged in the conversation. And I love that. I love when people are engaged because it allows me to talk with them and share with them exactly how our services work. And anytime I'm asked a question, or anytime I'm even given an objection, I love to answer a question with a story, because stories sell. Hearing examples of how our members have used the services are so powerful. So if someone says, well, I have this situation that's going on, would they be able to help me with that? When you're able to share a story that says, let me tell you exactly how one of our members who had a similar situation used the services, and share that story, that's going to be a powerful way to share the membership. So, facts tell, but stories sell. So when you're going through the features of our plan, when you talk about consultation, if you can tell a story about a consultation that you've had, that's powerful. If you're new and you don't have any stories yet, first of all, I encourage you to use the services so you get stories. But I also encourage you to go to live events, go to your Super Saturdays, go to your convention, attend your Zooms, go to everything that you can go to, because you're going to hear story after story after story. And after you've been to a few events, you're going to start to build a library of stories yourself that you can share with others. So when someone talks about consultation, you can say, well, let me tell you about a time that I had a situation with my insurance company, and I called my attorney and they were able to consult with me and just tell me what I should expect in this situation. Or on letters and phone calls, let me tell you about a time that I actually was, flying on an airline and they stranded me in a location, not because of weather, but because of a mechanical issue, and they didn't want to do anything for me, but because I was a LegalShield member, I had a letter written on my behalf. And they sent me 4 free tickets in the mail to use anywhere in North America, over $2,000 in tickets, because my attorney wrote the letter instead of me. Or let me tell you a story about document review. When I recently had an insurance claim because of a hurricane that came over our home 2 years ago, and I had to have my attorney review our homeowner's policy with us before I talked to the insurance adjuster, so I knew step by step exactly what was covered by my policy. Or let me talk to you about traffic and how I had an attorney out of state that was able to represent me in a traffic situation while I was 1,500 miles away from home. By the way, all of these stories are stories that have happened to me. And I have so many more stories that have happened because I've used the services. And so when I'm able to share those stories, and just by watching the training today, you already have 3 or 4 new stories you can share. You start to build a library of stories that helps you market and bring to life the power of these services. So keep it simple. Don't overthink it. When you're looking at the family legal plan, when in doubt, present the preferred plan. But when you have the opportunity, sit down, talk about the preferred plan, but then talk about the basic and premium, and let the let the customer decide which plan is best for them. Because ultimately, when they enroll in the plan that's best for them, they're going to keep that plan for years and years and years. So hopefully these training tips on how to market the services are going to help you enroll more LegalShield memberships, more ID Shield memberships, more small business plans, and put you on a path to success in your LegalShield business.